Hey, what's good? It's Cadillaktrackz. I'm here with my MK3 custom template. Man, I was just recording the video. It was going good and it messed up. So I'm going to start all over anyway. But I wanted to make this video. I got a request from somebody who had purchased the template. And he wanted to see a demo video of me making the beat. I have a playlist right now full of live screens. It's me making beats on the computer. You can see my screen and the process on Fruity Loops, but what you can't see is you can't see my hands on the machine. I think that's really what a lot of y'all want to see, is the MK3 template in action and see my hands and kind of have me walk y'all through it. And a lot of y'all have the template and you might not be utilizing it or using it, to its, full potential. So I want to make sure that everybody knows how to use it and how I use it and the way it can be used. The template I made, as you know, I sell it for $20. It took me a long time to set this template up, and so if you try to set your own template up, you'll see and you'll recognize. But what I did is I actually went ahead and I mapped out the minor scale on my template. That's why I made the template, because I wanted to be able to play the minor scale or scale mode in Fruity Loops without having Maschine open. And so that led me to make the template. I can also control Fruity Loops, and I'm just going to go over the functions real quick. Just real briefly, just like I did on my last video that just messed up, but you can open up the mixer, the playlist, the piano roll, the plugin browser, the channel rack, all with the button. You can also set the metronome, you can set the tempo, you can change the snap, and it has a dedicated undo knob. It also has a dedicated wheel to browse through samples in the browser. It has the host transport control, which means I can push start, stop, restart, record, erase, and cut. I can also tap the tempo out, which I mentioned, and that also has a file save button I can push to save my project. And it has a FL settings button that I can use to push to open the FL settings menu. It also has volume control with a solo and a mute, or an on and off, solo and a mute button switch for 8 tracks inside of Fruity Loop Studio. And it also has a modulation touch script, so I can modulate on my VST plugins. It also has I already mentioned the dedicated knob, but it also has the minor scales mapped out on every key. So every key, A all the way up to B, is mapped out for you, and it's in 4 octaves, all the way from -1 up to 7, which would be C -1 all the way to C7. And then I also included on that a Fruity Loops template, meaning that it has a Fruity Loops project template that you can use and open up. This is what it looks like. It also has a Maschine template that you can open up. If you click on Maschine, this is what the Maschine template looks like. And then lastly, it has the MK3 controller template, which is the template right here that you're looking at with the blue screen right here. And this is the templates for the MK3 custom template. So I just wanted to go over that. Also, it has the blend record enable switch, so I can switch that if I want to overdub or record. It also has a pattern song mode button. I can switch through pattern and song mode. It has a step edit, so I can switch to step edit mode. And it has a swing control knob, so I can control the amount of swing with the knob. And then I also put on there, I put the a reference. I put the major scale, a blues scale, pentonic scale, then an Aeolian scale. It's not mapped out in every key, but I have a C for each one of those, so that you can use that and transpose it on any program. And you can also have the major, pentonic, blues, and Aeolian scale. So anyway, this video right here, I just want to show everybody how I use the template. I'm going to try to work faster on this one. And like what I've been using lately is I use a chord generator. It's basically I can push a key on the piano and it'll generate a chord. And I've just been starting my beats lately with chord progressions. I'm not a piano player, I don't know music theory and all that, but I like it. It's harmony and basically progressions of chords. I'm playing one chord and I play another one, and then I might have 4 chords or 2 chords, whatever. So I've been using this program, Chahulu. It plays old Bach chorale chords. These are old chords that we don't really use in modern music a lot. And chords can be transposed, and you can make a chord 100 different ways. And that's what this really does. Bach used to play his chords a lot differently than we play it nowadays. So I like to use this right here, this chord generator. And the first thing that I do, what I was showing everybody, the first thing that I do is you're going to open up Fruity Loops in Maschine, just like so. And once again, I had already started and the video messed up, so I'm back at it. Once I load up Maschine and Fruity Loops. Once I load up Fruity Loops, it'll have the Maschine VST plugin right here. Then I'll load up my VST plugins inside of Fruity Loops. Right here I loaded up Omnisphere for this one. Once my plugins are opened up inside of Fruity Loops, I can start playing using my template. The template has custom scales already, so I could play a custom scale, or I could open up a scale and start playing chords from that scale, because you know that to play a chord, it's just basically skipping. You just skip each one of your notes, or it's every other note. So I could open up the scale and just skip every other note and start playing chords that way. But what I'll do is, first thing I'll do is I'll open up Maschine, and I'm actually let me see something. Once I opened up Maschine like so, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll open up the template. Since I'm using this chord generator, I want to be able to hit every key on my piano, not just the ones that are in scale. If you click right here, if you hold shift on my template and you click on templates, it goes into the screen where it shows you all of the different templates I have available. The first one is LAC. That one right there is a regular template. It has no scale, no minor scale. It's chromatic, so it covers every key on the piano, just like it regularly does when you hit MIDI mode. So it's a regular map out. What I can do is I can actually go ahead and I can use that regular map out. So I'll go ahead and I'll load LAC. All I do is I hold shift, I go to templates, and I just scroll to the template I want. In this case, I'm going to load up LAC. So there's no scale on the pads, it's just a chromatic covering all the piano. All you do is you click load, and once you click load, you'll see it load up on the page on the left. Once it's loaded, you hold shift again and you'll push the knobs button. It'll bring you back to the page menu, the original menu for your custom template. Once I'm here, I can go ahead and I can start to press keys chromatically, and I can just tap out a melody. I'm using a chord generator, so each key will relate to a chord. So I had something I had already made just a minute ago. It went something like this. One thing about your Hulu, the chords aren't in any order. They're all scrambled around the keyboard, so you got to kind of mess around until you find a progression. I like doing it on the pads. It's almost like I'm sampling. I'm just hitting random pads and I'm making a progression. Anyway, once I got that progression down, my template's already set up to where you have all the functions on it. So the first thing that I did on this one was I went ahead and I tapped the tempo out. Right here you can have I have a metronome button on the template. It's the Metro button. Just click over here on your Pages menu till you see the Metro. By clicking that or by tapping it, it turns on the metronome. So I'll turn on the metronome. I have a tap button right here. It's the dedicated tap knob I mentioned. So I can go ahead and tap out the tempo. I was just playing that little progression. It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, da, da, da. So it was like. So I went ahead and I tapped out the tempo. It came up to be 154. So I kept it at 154. Once I had that, I just pushed record, and I went ahead and I played my pattern out. Just simple, you know. So I just push record. It's already linked up to the transport. So I'll just make sure that let me push stop. I'll make sure that my sound selected that I want to record on, just right here, and I'll go ahead and I'll push record. And I already recorded this, but all I did was I just pushed record, and I went, you know. So you can see I already recorded it, and once it recorded, you know, I can push F7, and it pops up in here in the piano roll. Once it's in the piano roll, let me just go right here. Once I push F7, it pops in the piano roll. Once it's in the piano roll, I can just Control A, select it all real quick, and Control Q and quantize it. Or I could adjust the notes with the mouse however I wanted it or whatever. So once that's done, and I have a chord progression right there, it's playing piano chords in a chord progression. What I'll do is I'll look at the chords that are playing. So Hulu generates chords. I was able to look at the chords and I saw the progression here, and I'm just going to read it back to you. It's B minor. It's a B minor, F sharp major, E minor, F sharp major. So it has a B, an E, and an F sharp chord in it, right? So what I usually do is I usually reference the chord with the scale. A lot of people tell you that a chord doesn't have a scale. So this isn't music theory or whatever, but for the B chord, I'll actually go and I'll select the B scale. So I'll go ahead into my template right here, and since I had that progression with those pianos, so once I have this progression right here with this piano, a lot of time what I like to do is I'm going to come through and I'm going to play a melody and scale with it. So I know that I have a B. I'm just going to say I'm going to try the B scale because I have a B chord. So I'm going to go ahead and I hold shift, go to templates. I'm going to go here and scroll down to the scale B. I'm going to load it up, and then I'm going to hold shift again and go to knobs. It's going to load up the template. This is the B scale in minor. I'm going to go here and what I did earlier in the last video, I went ahead and I loaded up a Nexus, another VST plugin. I'm gonna load or play a melody on top of those chords. So I loaded up this Nexus. I wanted to show y'all something with this. If you look at my videos, my quick tips 1 through 100, I got a video where I show you how to organize VST plugin presets. Nexus, as you know, I can open up Nexus. It has a small little thing I gotta click on it, and I can browse through the sounds. It's real small and it's hard to navigate, and I got a lot of sounds. I found out I had 16,000. So what I did was I made myself a Nexus folder over here, and that's what you should do too. So if I go over here to my Nexus folder, which is right here, I can click on that Nexus folder, and I broke it down into subcategories. I showed you how to do that in my quick tip video. And it has bass, brass, choir, flute, guitar, hits, keys, and it's broken up and has all these 16,000 sounds broken up into these subcategories. And I can use my knob to browse presets. This is one of the major functions of the MK3 template. So I'm just running through here. I went to the piano section. Once I push down on it, it's like hitting enter. And I go through and I found I just went through and I found this Cash Space Piano. Go Ham. It's right here. And when I find it, I just push down on it and it loads it up into the VST that I have. So this is a way I can browse sounds and play melodies at the same time, you know. If I didn't like that sound, I could click here, I can find another sound, you know, and I could open it up. So I'm gonna go back to the one I had, the Cash Space Piano. I actually like that intense piano. And all I can do is I'm going to go ahead and record this piano just like I did the last thing. I'm just going to record it on this channel right here. So I would just go put this on pattern 3 right here, and I'm going to paint pattern 3 right here in the picture. And I'm going to push record on my machine, and I'm going to record a melody. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Okay, I messed up there. I didn't start it from the beginning. If I want to start it from the beginning, I can just push play. When I push record, if I push play, it brings it back to the original play marker. And that's the melody that I had earlier. So I'm going to just turn record off. At this point I can push play and I can hear it back. I'm going to push F7 so I can open up the piano roll. Look at it. I'm going to go ahead and push Control A and Control Q, quantize it real quick. I might look at the levels and I might adjust some volume levels. Maybe I hit the pads too hard or not. So I have a chord progression and this little sound playing in the background, and you know what we do at this point, you know, we just keep adding sounds. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep adding some sounds. I'm going to use, so I'm going to click right here. I'm going to just happen to load up another Nexus. This could be any VST plugin that you have or you choose. So say I'd loaded up another Nexus or another VST plugin, and I'm using my template. I like this scale, the B scale so far, so I'm going to keep using the B scale, and I'm going to use my knob because I have it set up over here. So I'm going to use this knob. I'm going to go over here down to like, I don't know, plucks. I'm gonna go to my pluck section, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna save this project because I haven't saved it yet. So I'm gonna push my file save button. Just push it one time. Look at that, it brought up my save menu. So I'm gonna go ahead and save it real quick inside of this little my folder where I save my beats. Excuse me while I save my beat. I don't want anything to mess up. Sometimes when I use a VST plugin, some plugins they mess up. Some of the presets don't load up right, or they might freeze up, or who knows. I don't want to take any chances, so I'm gonna go ahead and save it real quick by pushing the file save button. It's a good thing I was able to show y'all that real quick. And so I can push play from my machine. So I've loaded up a new VST. I'm gonna go over here, and once I click once in the browser, it highlights the browser, and from there I can start using my knob. So I'm gonna go through these plucks, and I'm just gonna start trying different ones. So all I gotta do is scroll a little bit, push down, and I can keep playing the melody. Hear what it sounds like. So I'm changing the sound without using my mouth. It was too tedious to click on this and try to change the sound every time. This is way better. So I'm just gonna try this sound. I'm just gonna play melodies. They're all in scale, so I don't have to be a piano player. Since it's in scale, it makes your music flow together because it's in scale. It's like you become a piano player by getting my template. It's something that crossed my mind yesterday. But just bringing it down an octave. These are the octave keys, so I just brought it down an octave. I like that. It sounds real nice. It's that guitar pluck, you know. In the background of the beat, that'll be real nice, you know. And this sound is on insert channel 18. Remember, I have volume knob for different tracks. I could turn the volume up right here if I wanted to with that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click the volume up. I'm gonna turn it up by the knob on Nexus. Sounds real good because it's in scale, so I'm just going to play a pattern, and I already like that a little bit, so I'm going to record that or whatever, you know. It's on pattern 3. Let's say I want this on pattern 4, you know. I have a pattern knob, remember? So I'm going to click over here to my patterns knob. Move it gently. These knobs are sensitive. And I'm on pattern 4 real quick. So I'm going to record pattern 4. I found my pluck, you know. I like the scale. I'm going to try some melodies real quick. So we're just going to just run with it, you know. I'm going to close this VST. And let's do it. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna play it, and I'm not gonna record till I got it down. All right, let's try to record something. I'll be playing around all day. So I do that a lot. I need to make sure that it's always at the beginning when I push the record. So when I push record, you should push play to bring it back one time at the beginning if it's not already. go up right there. So let's just open it in the piano roll. Let's take a look at what we're doing. And actually, I messed up on that one. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna push erase, and I'm gonna clear that out. And as you can see, I had the box in the wrong place. I'm gonna make the box as long as I wanted to record. That's something my friend used to do. He laid down the box before he pushes record. It can really help you to organize where the sound needs to go, the start and stop times. But let's just record this real quick. Something like that. Let me try that again. Like that. Let me try that again, bro. Kind of like that. And I like how it's set up because I can keep going. I can record and stop quickly. That's good for the workflow, you know. That's why the template works good. Another reason why it's a jewel. Anyway, let me try that again, bro. Alright. It's alright. I need a little editing. Yeah, it's pretty much good. You can see the notes are pretty much on time. It could maybe use a little quantization. Let me just try it. Sometimes your notes will be on, most of the time will be on time. Like I'm hearing this note up here. Maybe I'm not. Kind of needs to be like this one. Let me because I'm hearing it in my head. Oh, I like that. This one, oh, I like that. It's this note right here needs to come over. This one right here. You can kind of hear the note you're looking for in your head, which helps. That's why you see these people dragging the notes to the perfect spot, because you can hear it in your head. So I like this little melody, so that's it right there, you know. So I got my third sound. save this real quick again, and I'm gonna load up another plugin. This plugin actually been giving me problems because it takes a long time to load, which is a problem. But I'll go ahead and load up another plugin so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm really just running through sounds, and I'm just adding up, just running through sounds and just using the template and the scale. The template and the scale make it so easy just to put everything together just like that. So that's all I'm doing. I'm really just using the scale and the template and working them together. And be right back while this loads up real quick. Alright, I'm back here, bro. The Dune takes a long time to load up because if I'm in a 64-bit program and I load up this 32-bit Dune, it takes forever. But if I'm in 32-bit and I load it up, it takes a lot less. But I'm gonna use Dune because I'm hearing like some type of Dune has great leads, man. That's what I've noticed. The leads on Dune are stupid, and I did the same thing for Dune, just like you should on your plugins. So we had the template set up and we opened up Dune. I'm going to click over here in my sounds on the side. I'm going to use my knob, and I made myself a dedicated Dune folder. So just if I go over here to my Dune folder, I click down on it. It's broken up into categories. I'm going to go into leads again. And it's got a lot of leads right here that I got. And I'm just going to go into a random spot and pick one. And I'm going to start playing it, you know. It's on channel 19, right? That's a tight sound right there. But it's kind of loud, so I'll just click over here to my volume settings and I'll turn it down. Track 19, right? Channel 19. So I'll set the volume where I want it, and I'm going to put this lead on top, but I already got some melodies in the key of B, and I already got some B chords, but I got an E and an F sharp, right? So I'm going to switch up the key on this one. So I'm going to hold shift, go to template, I'm going to go to the key of E, I'm going to load it up. Let me make sure I loaded it up. Template, go to E. Once you get to the E key, you let go and push load. And it loads up on the screen. Then you hit shift again and you hit knobs, and it goes back to the screen, and it's in the key of E now. So I'm going to try it in the key of E. I can barely hear it. I'll turn it up a little bit. This sound might not be what I'm looking for. I'm gonna try to find another one. Just turn off some of the other sounds that I got going so I can hear what's going on with this one right here. So I'm in the E key. I just hit this key and it sounds real nice. And I was like, what is that key? It sounds good. And guess what it is? It's F sharp. So I'm going to put this in F sharp because remember F sharp is one of my chords that I had. And if you look right here on the screen, it shows you what key it is. I put that there as a map. You know what key you're pushing. It took a lot of time. But anyway. I like that melody, like, so I'll record it. I should record it on its own pattern, right? So I'm going to hit the pattern knob, put it on pattern 5, and record it real quick. I need to start from the beginning. Right now my play thing's in the middle. So when I push record, I'm going to push play, bring it back to the beginning real quick. Alright, I'm just kind of thinking it out real quick. I may erase and try it again. And that's it. It's just something simple. I want to bring up the piano roll, so I'll hit the piano roll button. Once it's in piano roll, if you push Control and right click, it brings all the notes into your view. And from there, I'm going to quantize. I'm just push Control A, Control Q real quick. And you can see that these two notes are a little bit lower. I'll just turn them up. I could keep them like it doesn't really matter, but it could add, you know what it does. Could add some variation if it was at a different velocity. But this sound's not critical of that. So I got another sound for the beat, maybe a background sound or something. It's missing like some hits and some high pitch sound or maybe some strings. So I'm just gonna keep adding some sounds real quick. I'm gonna load up another plugin real quick, and let me see. I already got a few plugins on here, but I'm actually, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna load up another Nexus. This video is about to end soon. This phone can only record for so long. And I wanted to show y'all kind of the workflow or the process of putting it all together. So I'm gonna add up another sound. I feel like it needs like a kind of like a bell or something. So I'm gonna use my knob, and I'm gonna go over here to the Nexus folder, and I'm gonna go to dang, flute. A flute would be nice if I could hit it real good, but I'm just gonna play with a flute for a second. So I'm just gonna load up some flutes real quick. It's got so many of them. I'll just try this one, and let's see what it sounds like. It's kind of loud, so I'm gonna go. I put it on channel 20, so I'm gonna go to channel 20, turn it down. The way that I'm able to add a VST in and have it on channel 20 and turn it down is when I click on the sound. You have these you have your 16 through whatever. When you click on it, instead of going to insert or instead of going to add, just right click on it and go to replace, and then add the VST. That way it'll put that VST right where that thing is instead of adding it into a new track or channel or channel rack or whatever. So I have this flute. I'm going to go back to the E scale, the one scale that I haven't used but I have a chord for. I'm going to see if I can find something in the E scale. I'm just going to play with it, you know. Maybe even try another flute here in a second. Let's just mess with it. A lot of time I have all the sounds going at once because if they can all blend together, I know it'll be good when I separate them. But let me. So it sounds like we need another flute. So I'm gonna just try another flute. But yeah, this is the process, just using the machine with the template and this knob to browse through sounds, especially when I'm building up melodies. You can see I'm kind of relaxed, I'm just kind of chilling with it. But every time I push down on my knob, it's loading up a new preset from Nexus. So you need to watch my video on how to organize your VST presets if you haven't done that already, because yeah, I used to use my little mouse right here, but I mean, I was always trying to find a way to click the preset with a button, but I can never do it unless I clicked with the mouse. I used to be able to push down on my keyboard, but it don't work no more. But anyway. Whoa. I actually like that, but it sounds horrible. A lot of these flutes are a little bit too ambient. I need something more natural. Just a little spurt. put this on its own pattern, which would be pattern 6. I'm trying to record this real quick. Kind of basic, but I think when I put some effects on it, or a delay and reverb, or some type of filter, it can really freak it out. It'll probably sound real nice in the background. So let's record this real quick. What I wanted, but let me try that one more time. And this sound I won't quantize because it's a flute, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so most people will be like, man, you got too many sounds, you got enough sounds. So yeah, this is what I do on my process. This is how I use my template. I like to put an intro bass on my beats.